This is Talk About Topeka on Gab Local TV and TV 25. This episode brought to you by Field of Greens and The Break Room. And here's your host, Chris Schultz.
Well, here in the Gab Local studio, it is a beautiful evening here in the capital city, and I'll tell you what, we have a great show for you. Now, I always want to start the show out by talking with Frank, so I say hello to Frank. How are you, Frank?
I'm good. How are you doing, Chris?
Good, doing really well, doing really well. Now, I always like to catch up with you. How was your weekend last weekend?
Oh, it was a fun weekend. You know, we had St. Patrick's Day festivities going on in downtown Topeka. A sea of green, just an absolute sea of green. It was an amazing turnout. Weather was absolutely gorgeous. Maybe a little bit overcast, but it was, plenty cool enough that, it wasn't hot. It was just absolutely, it was a great day.
Yeah, I have to say, I saw the pictures and I was a little bit jealous that I missed it. But I spent last weekend, I was down actually in Dallas, Texas. Have you ever been to Dallas, Frank?
Actually, I worked in Plano for about a year, which is a suburb of Dallas. So,
did you ever drive down there?
No, I always flew.
You always flew? So
yeah.
I drove. Yeah, I drove. And when we went down there, literally, it took about, I don't know, there was a lot of construction down in Oklahoma. So when going down, we went down on Friday, the lanes were narrowed down to one lane because they had some construction. And I'll tell you, we probably added an hour and maybe an hour and a half to the trip just because of the lanes going down there. And the TripAdvisor, that kind of stuff, it tells you, hey, your trip's going to take you, Google Maps, it tells you 7 hours, 15 minutes for your trip. And I think it took us 10 hours to get there that day. It was a long drive, but it was nice. We had had some business to do down there, and of course we had to have a little bit of fun as well. So I went out down there and enjoyed the city for a couple of days, and then came back here on Monday. So again, it took longer than 7 hours and 15 minutes to get back, but
yeah, but Dallas is worth it. It's a great city. It's a fun city to hang out in, and
it's a great city. We've been doing this stuff with Gab Local. We get to fly our blimp around. When we get our long-range blimp, it'll be nice to be able to just kind of float it down to Dallas, and that'll be cool. But yeah, so.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me, right? Yeah.
Hey, it's an illusion, Frank. Just stop messing up our illusion. It's a blimp. It's nice. It's good. Yeah. So we have a great show this week. We were talking with Sarah Fizell on the show. She's one of three ladies who are some of my favorite ladies. We've got Sarah Fizell, Megan Yowsey from TPAC, and we're talking to Shanna Simpson from the zoo. Good people. But I thought I wanted to, before Sarah came in, she's executive director of Arts Connect, wanted to talk a little bit about you and your experience with Arts Connect years ago. Now, just so you know, Frank won an Arty award years ago. This was before, so I was not president of Arts Connect at the time. So in all fairness, today I am president of Arts Connect, but I had nothing to do with that. Frank did it on his merit, and he really, you're good, Frank. You were pretty good.
Yeah, I was.
What was it for?
I was actually nominated by a wonderful lady at the Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. She had come to see one of my variety shows that I put on once, twice, 3 times a month at the Break Room, mm-hmm. and it was I was nominated and received the award for Unconventional Artist of the Year. So that one was held at the Topeka Civic Theater, and so I am there in I would say in full costume, mm-hmm. for the character, and I was also running the tech for it, and they were having trouble with the microphone at the very beginning of the presentation, and I had to run up to the soundboard to fix it real quick, and then run back to my seat and pretend like nothing happened.
Okay, now I'm gonna bust that illusion here. What you won for was being Diva Divine, a drag performer character, and that's why it makes that story you just told a whole lot funnier, because you did that in what, like 18-inch heels?
No, they were only a 4-inch pump, that's all.
You're a better man or woman than I am, or both. Yeah, whatever. So, good times, good times. Good job, Frank.
Yeah, well, you know, we had to retire Diva. So, you know, after the award, it was she was accomplished. She did everything that she needed to do.
Well, you know, she's still comes out every once in a while to complain. The spirit of Divas.
Don't say that the attitude is Diva. Well, the attitude is Diva, but you know, don't mix that. Don't mix Frank's attitude with Diva's attitude.
Oh, well, it's very cool. I can't wait to talk about some of the grant recipients here. Well, all of them. And there were so many people who applied for grants. So many great things. We have a great show here, especially if you love the arts, if you love culture, you love fun. We're going to be talking about an entire hour of that here tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of Talk About Topeka, and try and erase that image of Frank as a drag queen out of your mind. Sorry for putting that in.